We had a conference in Geneva where we came out with strategic priorities for Scouting. Elected the head of the strategic priority number 4, which emphasizes taking Scouting beyond schools to the vulnerable children who had no opportunity to go to school. Through Scouting, there are so many vocational skills that we were passing out to young men and women, which we thought would be very beneficial to the children out of school. But unfortunately, there was no program that targeted them. So among our 7 strategic priorities at that time, we included reaching out. And reaching out just meant reaching out with Scouting to wherever people were. And through that, when I returned back to Uganda, I met my chairman, the late Manuel Pinto, and I briefed him about the conference and on country. So the following week, I just went and sat at the city square in Kampala, where most street kids gather in the afternoon. I don't know what they used to do there, but they would gather there. So I bought some bananas and sugar canes and went, and there's a tree which is like an umbrella. We call them umbrella trees in Uganda. So I sat under the umbrella tree with my bananas, with my sugar canes. And then they came near me and they were asking in their slang, very, very funny words, what was I doing in their place. So I explained to them that I'm your friend and I've come here to visit you. I want to know more about you and I want to recruit you into Scouting. When I first removed the kids from the streets, I started with the girls because the girls were very vulnerable, you know. They had so many problems. They got pregnant on the streets, and in most cases, those responsible for the pregnancies were street boys. I took a decision to handle the girls first, and then the boys felt bad until we took a decision again in August 2000. I removed them and brought them up to my house because I wanted to make sure that every day they had a meal to eat. And I told the kids, I think the sun is already rising for us, and it has risen, and we have made a difference. Now we are going to be Bright Kids Uganda. And indeed, by the time we changed it to Bright Kids Uganda, the sun was already shining for most of my kids, because now I have teachers. Now I have people, you know, former street boys who are married and comfortable and they are working, they have an income. Yeah, this is the mango tree where we used to come. We would park our vehicle there, then the ladies and they would be helped by the men to offload the maize flour, and they would make porridge for the children. Meanwhile, I'm seated here with my team of scouts, and that particular time, July 31st, we had come with 3 British scouts. One of them was a nurse, so she was seated here while I was organizing for the porridge. Then she called me and said, Victoria, what do we do with this boy? He has no wound for us to dress, but he's in a poor shape. Then I came over to them and I went to the camp leader. They put him up there. We went at the starch factory. They called a gathering of all the camp members and they asked who the parents were. And they said, no. One woman said, I remember we were running and his parents were killed. It is at this White House where I used to think we are safe whenever I came. So when I first picked Ronald, 31st July 2003, from the starch factory IDPC, I took him to Dr. Tim. There was a Dr. Tim there with a clinic. I don't know whether he's there now. So after getting him some deworming tablets and some medicine, I bought him some clothes and we spent 2 nights here before going to Entebbe.
A hidden child soon after birth. Her parents were alcoholics, and they abandoned her along with her sister Foster on a railroad track in a busy part of Kampala, Uganda. The police soon found them, and the little girls were taken to in Zambia baby's home. Soon Foster was adopted, but no one wanted Gloria. Gloria couldn't speak, she couldn't walk, she couldn't feed herself, she couldn't care for herself. In Uganda, if someone has a disability, it is considered a curse. They are hidden from society. Gloria stayed hidden until one day in 2005. Victoria Nalongo Namusisi met Gloria at the baby's home and wanted to give her a family and love. Decided to adopt Gloria as her own and took her to Bright Kids Uganda Children's Home. Victoria loved her with all her heart for 6 more years. Gloria greeted visitors. She could smile. She could say mama. She could crawl. Gloria showed her love to all. She would greet visitors by singing and clapping her hands. She could make sounds using 2-syllable sounds. Victoria would take her on walks around the village. And in 2012, Gloria, age 12, was admitted to a special school for the disabled. Victoria visited Gloria often, and one day saw that she was very sick. Victoria rushed Gloria to the hospital, and the doctors indeed said she's very sick. After 3 days, Gloria died. She was 12 years old. Within 3 years of Gloria's death, a health clinic was built and named the Gloria Namusisi Health Clinic, which provided free health care to those with disabilities. Within 3 years of Gloria's death, Noah's Ark School for the Disabled was opened, 2015, as a school and a home for children with disabilities. There are now over 40 children who are being cared for. Little Richard was found living with his grandmother in a mud hut, unable to walk. Little Richard was taken to Noah's Ark, provided with clean clothes, food, and medical care. Little Richard today can now walk thanks to surgery performed on his legs, and he is now happy attending an inclusive school.
We the children of this land, we the future generation, we the children of the sunshine, we the leaders for tomorrow. Bright Kids is a lovely home, we live in here, the place of paradise. Join us, Bright Kids, we shall rise again.